6B prevents the agency from doing their job. And when they don't do their job, people are injured and people die. Things that are currently out.
That man recently wrote a report looking into how the Consumer Product Safety Commission issues recalls. 6B is a section of the Consumer Product Safety Act that dictates who has what say when a product is being recalled. The author of that report says that is delaying information from getting to the public when there's an issue with a product. He says no other federal agency has to jump through these sorts of hoops to issue recalls. Now, Fox 43 finds out if anyone is doing anything about it.
Recalls are being issued all the time. We even have a segment on Fox 43 News at 5 that focuses on the daily recalls issued by federal agencies.
Thousands of smoke and fire alarms are being recalled tonight because they may not sound during a fire.
What is often unclear is how long it takes before someone figures out something is wrong with the product to when it's being recalled. Remington Gregg works for Public Citizen, which is a consumer rights advocacy group. He's been looking into Section 6B of the Consumer Product Safety Act.
6B is an obstacle to the CPSC doing its job well, getting critical public safety information out to the public.
That provision of the Consumer Product Safety Act, quote, establishes procedures for and restrictions on the Commission's public disclosure of information. What that means is when the Consumer Product Safety Commission wants to issue a recall, it has to contact the manufacturer of that product before it can release any specific information that would allow the public to identify it.
Oftentimes, the company doesn't want the release of information that says a product may be unsafe.
If the manufacturer doesn't want that information released, it can take the CPSC to court.
The sheer threat of going to court, of using taxpayer money to go to court and to push ahead stops the agency from actually moving forward and naming names.
Gregg says this process is where consumers, like you and me, don't know what is happening. We continue to use these products, possibly without knowing the possible dangers. Gregg says a similar real-life example of this is the Fisher-Price Rock and Play sleepers. On May 31st of 2018, the CPSC issued a warning, urging caregivers to use restraints with inclined sleep products. The commission never named any specific company names or products. Then on April 5th of this year, the commission and Fisher-Price issued a warning about the company's Rock and Play sleepers. At the time, the CPSC said it was aware of 10 infant deaths since 2015. It stated all of the infants were 3 months or older. This was just a warning, not a recall. On April 8th, Consumer Reports published an investigation that found Fisher-Price knew of 32 infant deaths since the sleeper product was introduced in 2009. Then, on April 12th, a recall on the 4.7 million Fisher-Price Rock and Play sleepers was issued. That's when the CPSC then reported there were more than 30 infant deaths. In the months that followed, the commission and more companies issued more recalls on similar products and accessories.
Do you think because of this, people are dying?
Well, you don't even have to ask me, you just have to ask commissioners on the CPSC. At least one CPSC commissioner has said publicly that people have died because of 6B.
That's exactly what Commissioner Elliott Kaye said during a Consumer Protection and Commerce Subcommittee hearing on April 9th, one day after the Consumer Reports investigation on the Rock and Play sleepers and 3 days before the recall was issued.
People die because of 6B. It is as simple as that.
Fox 43 Finds Out emailed all of the members of the U.S. House of Representatives Consumer Protection and Commerce Subcommittee, showing them the Public Citizen report and asking them how they feel about 6B. Of the 24 members of that committee, only one responded, Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers from Washington State. She sent a statement that reads in part, quote, "That's why I introduced the FASTER Act to expedite that process, especially when both industry and the Consumer Product Safety Commission agree on the need for a recall. That bill would make the process easier for companies that want to issue a voluntary recall. However, it does not repeal Section 6B, which is what the Public Citizen's report recommends."
We need to know as soon as possible that a baby stroller can potentially just fall apart as you're running with it. We need to know as quickly as possible that a hairdryer can give you a spark, and so you need to stop using it.
Now, I did reach out to the Consumer Product Safety Commission about all of this. A spokesperson told me since Section 6B is part of the Consumer Product Safety Act, that agency can't do anything about it. It's Congress that would have to make a change. Now, there are class action lawsuits filed against Mattel, which is the parent company of Fisher-Price, because of the Rock and Play sleeper deaths. I did reach out to Mattel about this story and was sent a statement that reads, quote, "We have a long-standing policy of not commenting on litigation matters." Now, if you have a story you want me to look into, Fox 43 wants to find out. Let me know, send me a message on Facebook, or shoot me an email at fox43findsout@fox43.com.